Okay, let's look at this video here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to, in the first video, there's two videos. In the first one, I'm going to do this whole thing with you. Make sure you're doing it. And I'm going to do, in this same video, I'm going to do these three. Then I'm going to switch then to my next video. And when I do my next video, when you know what you're doing, you can work ahead and do the four in the back. Okay. All right, now, first it says, a plane is flying at an altitude of 90,000 feet. Each second, each means per, remember that. Per second, it flies downward 300 feet. How long will it take the plane to fly from its beginning altitude to the ground? So they give me two units here for X and Y, feet and seconds. This is boxed for another thing, okay? So I've got feet and seconds. Now it says seconds is X, time's always X, and then the feet is Y. Now per, it would be feet per second. Now if you're wondering why I don't see per, well each means the same thing as per. So each second it flies downward 300 feet. So put 300 along with its label. Okay. Now is that the same as the Y label? Do these labels match up? Yes, they do. So that is a line. Okay. It's linear. So what I do is I go construct my line with the Y, MX, Y, and then the M is 300. Now, since it says downward, that's been highlighted, we need to make the 300 negative. Okay, we also need to lose this first Y and replace with what became before the 300, and that was 90,000 feet. So 90,000 goes here. Okay, and then we construct our equation. So we have 90,000 plus negative 300x equals Y. All right, now the last value we get is 0 feet, and you're like, haven't we already done with this? Yeah, we have. I want to just differ, and that's not what the assignment's on. Feet is Y, okay? I need to differentiate between this and what you are going to be doing on the assignment. So Y's out, 0's in. So X is being multiplied by negative 300, so I need to subtract 90,000 from both sides of the equation and from 0. Okay, so I have negative 300 times X equals negative 90,000. Okay, now we divide by negative 300. Okay, now incidentally, negative 90,000 divided by negative 300 is 300. Okay, so X is 300. So X is seconds. It's going to take 300 seconds for that to land, which would be minutes. It would actually be 5 minutes. That takes 300 seconds is 5 minutes. Just put, you don't need to put that though. Okay, my next problem. A car is worth $20,500 when I buy it. Each year, remember each means per, it loses 15% of its value. Find its value after 10 years. So again, we want to identify our units. You've got dollars and years. So years is X, dollars is Y. So per, and then X goes below it, per year, and then put dollars. Okay, now this is a different problem than the last one. Look at the word each and per mean the same thing. Each year it loses 50. I'm just going to read that sentence. Each year it loses 15% of its value. So it's 15, but 15's label is percent. Well, percent does not match up with money, okay? That's totally different. So that is not a line, okay? So when it's by a percent, what we want to do is set up blank times blank equals blank. And then we have the original. We have our percent, but since it's per year, we need an exponent and then new. Okay, let's do our percent first. So I had to take 100%, and I have highlighted loses, so minus 15%. That is 85%. Now we want to divide that by 100 then, so I can put it into the equation, and that's 0.85. Okay, so 0.85 goes here, but now it needs an exponent. Well, it says per year. How many years do we have here? 10. So it's going to be 10. And the initial, the 20,500 is my original. And this is the new. You're always going to know the original. You won't ever know the new. You can just plug that, multiply that on your calculator. 20,500 times 0.85 to the 10th power. And since we're going to be talking about money, okay, if money is in the problem, go 2 decimal places out, so 9.2. So we got $4,035.92. You can put 93 if you round up. Okay, number 7. A pool has 800 gallons of water. It drains at a rate of 16 gallons per hour. After how many hours will it be empty? Okay, so the first thing I do is my key units are gallons and hours. And it says gallons needs to be Y, hours is X. X is always the time unit. So per hour, then gallons on top. Okay, now let's find that there's a per, and let's read that sentence. It drains at a rate of 16 gallons per hour. So 16 gallons is what it says. And that does match this label here, okay, right there. Those match up, so that would be a line, okay? It wouldn't be a percent, okay? So I go construct my line over here. So Y, MX, Y, and we know that M is 16, but since I have highlighted drains, drain is going down, so that'd be negative. And then before the 16, we've got 800, so we have 800 right here, okay? And then I construct my equation out of that. So I have 800 plus negative 16x equals Y. Okay, now 0 gallons is my input value, and gallons is Y, so that's where we're gonna replace the Y again with 0, and X is multiplied by negative 16, so I need to subtract 800. So negative 16 times X, 0 minus 800 is negative 800. Then I divide each side of the equation by negative 16 to cancel that factor, and on that side. Okay, so negative 100 divided by negative 16 is 50. So X equals 50. Now it's an X, so X is hours, so it'd be 50 hours. Okay. All right, then this page. I have $8,500 in my bank account. Each year that account decreases by 15%. How much will it be worth be in this account after 17 years? Okay, so dollars and years. And dollars is supposed to be Y and years is X. Then per, it'd be dollars per year. Remember, each and per mean the same thing. So here's the word each. Let's read that sentence, just that sentence. Each year that account decreases by 5%. So, okay, 5%. Well, that's not the same as $5. So that is not a line. I should not go construct a line. Blank times blank. If the rate of change is a percent, we want to use this. So original percent, and that happened per year, so I need a power, and new. So let's do our percent first, always nice. 100% decreases has been highlighted, so I minus 5%, and that's 95%. Then I divide that by 100, and that's 0.95. Now that needs a power. Now it's per year. Okay, every year it's not by 95%. So how many years do I have? I have 17. So 17 power. And the original amount is 8,500. Okay. And my new amount I don't know, so I can just multiply to figure it out. If this is dollars, we're going to go, okay. Okay, so $3,554.02. Okay, now let's go into the other packet. I'm going to do these 3 problems, shut off the video, and then the second one, you don't have to do all the problems. If you think you're ready, you can go do the last 4 on your own. Okay, now I do have like 3 or 4 of these on the next test. Okay, we took a test where there was like 20 of them. There won't be that many again ever. Okay, but I do want us to remember how to simplify an expression involving exponents. Now, one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to circle the exponents, so please circle these. Okay, so the dividing line's right there. Now I want to circle the parentheses I have, so I know anything coming out of that has to be multiplied by -3. So on top, I have a number 3, a letter X, and a letter Y. And on bottom, I don't have any really numbers. I just have X and Y again. Okay, so the 3 is to the 1 power, but it's in that circle, so 1 has to be multiplied by -3, and that product is -3. Okay, now let's do the X. There's 2 X's. This X is to the 1, but again, that's in parentheses, so 1 times -3 is -3. Now my other X is on the bottom, so I minus, okay? And I'm just going to put -2 because that's not in the circle. So minus parentheses -2. Whenever I minus a negative, it looks better if you put the negative in parentheses. So I have -3 minus -2, and I get -1 for my power. Okay, now Y. We have a 6 power. Don't need to multiply it. Minus. And then I have a -7 on bottom. So I'm going to take 6 minus -7. Now keep in mind that this is the same as 6 plus 7. When you minus a negative number, it turns it into addition of the positive. So it's 13. Okay, now here are my factors. Circle them, because now we got to decide which ones stay, which one's opposite. That's negative, so that's opposite. That's negative, so opposite. That's positive, so stay. So let's put the one that stays. Let's keep that on top. And then opposite of top's bottom. -3 goes to a 3. The opposite of top's bottom, and the -1 turns into a 1. So we have these 3 factors. The only one I can really clone is 3 to the 3rd. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So I replace that 3 to the 3rd factor with 27 on bottom, times x to the 1, and then y to the 13th on top. Okay, now scientific notation. First thing you need is a decimal. So you put it at the end and circle it. Next thing, what's the first number I have? 3. Okay. I need to move that decimal so it's between the 3 and the 2. Okay. This is left, this is right. I would need to move it to the left. And left means positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my decimal, there's a 3 before it, a 2 after it. I don't need all the extra zeros. Then times 10. And now count the zeros. Or count not the zeros, the digits between the decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's positive 8, 10 to the 8th power. Okay. Then this one is very easy to write it. To take it from scientific to standard, you just multiply in your calculator. Okay, and there it is. 0 point. Then I've got 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 3. Okay.